And welcome back to my channel. Now I've been out riding the Levo Evo, loving life, and I haven't done a video for a while because there hasn't been anything I've really needed to do or upgrade. But I have recently, well, several months ago, made an investment and it's only just turned up. So I've all got these expensive e-bikes and there's all these fancy Hiplok and light lock, angle grinder proof locks you can get. But you need to think about, when it comes to bike security, what you're physically attaching that lock to. Because if they can't get through it with an angle grinder, they'll maybe look to attack what the lock's attached to. Now, I was trying to find better wall anchors. I use those thick steel square tube kind of like floor and wall anchors for my bike, but they're not angle grinder proof. And then when I heard that Hiplok was back, I think it was October last year, were on Kickstarter looking for funding to get this angle grinder proof AX1000 wall or floor anchor into production, I'll join that Kickstart campaign. Now, obviously, when you join a Kickstart campaign, it takes a while for them to obviously then put it through manufacturing and do things en masse. So this has only just turned up, when was it, yesterday? Because I'm just a normal commoner. You know, I'm in with the pack of people who invested in this being released. Obviously, you've seen people reviewing these on videos already. So there'll be angle grinder attack videos. But I've got, a mixture of Hiplok and light lock, actual D-locks. But I've always felt that what they're attached to was a weakness. So it eventually turned up months and months after paying. But this thing is an absolute beast. That weighs a good 6 kilos plus. So this version, AX1000, you bolt it to floor, or you could do the wall really, but it's really, I think, designed for the floor, motorbike and mountain bike. You've got this here, this lever. It's a bit hard to do it one-handed, but when you pull this lever, it then allows you to correct. Great thing about this, like I said, it's angle grinder proof. It's made out of the same stuff as the, I think it's the D1000 or DX1000, whichever it is, bike lock. So you know that very angle grinder proof. You're going to struggle to attack this. You're going to struggle attacking this. You're going to struggle attacking the lock, which buys us more time. So the solid gold secure actually means something now. This is diamond rated, as you expect. They did a rejig, so a lot of locks that were, let's face it, crap, were getting like gold and a diamond standard. So they've readdressed and recategorized what solid secure means to actually mean something again. Any bike that's expensive, that's your pride and joy, and even if you've got bike insurance, it's all that hassle of claiming on insurance, getting a new bike. You're much better spending, I think this might be £350 on one of these. So let's see what you actually get. So you obviously get the floor, we'll call it a floor anchor because that's where it's supposed to be positioned. And then you get, as you expect, it's quite cool packaging. As you expect, you get instructions. That's quite handy. They even supply you with a drill bit. I know. Is it a drill bit? Yes. Oh, it's an SDS drill bit as well, which is great. Which you'd expect because you're going through concrete and I've got an SDS drill. Then you get the anchor bolts. Now these things, if you ever put them in the ground, these things can be a bit of a pain to do, especially cheap quality ones. You tend to find that they mushroom and don't go in. So I like the fact they give you a drill bit. So your drill bit's slightly worn, as I've had. These things can be an absolute nightmare, can destroy. I had some of these fitting an anchor and had trouble, got a new drill bit and problem was solved. So as you can see, it's got a lot. None of these are spares, you'll use all of these. So if you're getting into solid concrete, they're not ripping that out. They're not using a sledgehammer to get that out, and then you get these ball bearings which you hammer into these. Once you've got it tight, you overlise them so that can't be unscrewed. And obviously you'll have that cover. That's what the unit's off, so you can see there. So it rotates, which is fantastic, through 360 degrees, and you've got this height adjustment. So you don't have to worry about getting it installed in an exact certain position. That's all you need. Make sure if you do fit in one of these, you have a decent drill. And like I said, it's an SDS. If you're not sure what SDS is, it's these slits here, so more powerful drills. Especially hammer drills have this SDS type of fitment. It's not the chuck key type, because really, for fitting something like this, you should have the right tool. So that's my advice. If you're buying one of these, borrow a mate's, rent one, or buy an SDS drill, because you're not going to do it with your little Black & Decker cordless. Or, you know, you've got a chance of cocking up. You've got a lot of bolts in a small area to get right. If you screw one of these up, you know, you can't just move it over if it's not your first one. So you're going to need to take your time to install this. Use a marker pen to mark it all up. Make sure you do it right. You don't want to balls up your floor in your garage and have to reconcrete it, or get some cement and fill some holes, leave it to dry, and then do it again. Just take that off there. It's really well engineered, that. And as I said, you've got the system here, so it's good that it's just not loose. It's not going to drop down and smack you on your toes, because if that just dropped, that's a lot of weight. So the fact you've got this pin to put it at different heights is brilliant, because then you can just leave it fixed like that. You can lift your bike in and out with it like that. You could leave it in that upright position. You don't really have to touch that again once it's locked in, and a bit of turn on it. Let's go install this bad boy. So at the minute what I've done, just a bit of an installation video, at the minute what I've done is I've positioned it where I want it. I've just put my smallest lock round at the minute, so this is the X1 at the minute. So now if it fits with an X1, that my D1000, which is equivalent to the X3 when it's ordered, will fit this as well. I can lean it forward. So this is basically, I'm using it the worst case scenario with my smallest lock. You get this template you can use to drill. So all I've done is get it positioned where you want it. And then what I'm doing is I'm using this pen to draw around this, so I know where on the floor it wants to be. Then I'm going to cut that off, line that up, punch these holes and mark them, make sure I'm bang on in the centre. So I'll probably actually do it with a small drill bit. So as long as you take your time and be systematic, it should be nice and easy to install. So this is the traditional wall anchor floor anchor I was using. So still robust, very thick, very good, very chunky. These aren't cheap ones, however they are still not angle grinder proof. So in theory, you know, someone could come in, maybe getting on an angle grinder on an angle here, take this out, and then obviously take the bike with the lock. So these are great, but if you're buying like these angle grinder proof locks, again, it makes sense to make everything as angle grinder proof as you can do. Well, first of all, I'm going to say this looks different now because you take these covers off and the base plate, you unscrew these 4 3mm Allen bolts, hex bolts we're going to call it. The covers just slide off, and then the bottom plate slides off to expose this. But yeah, I would not advise trying to use that paper template. Even if you hold it down, put the tiniest holes in and put pen through it, I found that when I lined this up with the holes, they weren't good enough. And I think it's just because you got variations on the floor, variations on the paper, the fact the paper's being folded. If it was a piece of card, my advice to Hiplok would be put the template in as a piece of card that's already separate, not part of the instruction book, printed on and cut around it. I mean, you're paying a lot for this product anyway. So I say give a cardboard template which is already round, already perfect, a bit thicker than paper, and it's already got small defined holes, so you can just go with a marker pen on top, because if you follow that guide, you're likely to get it wrong. Well, we'll see if my way at the end has worked. If not, then, you know, I'll eat my words, but I just think this is a better process. Great, you have like these little lumps in it, and what that means is sometimes the drill will slide, okay, and you don't want them sliding. So what I've ended up doing is positioning this over where I want to put it, and then obviously you don't go straight in with the full size drill bit, you're never going to get them sliding up. Using the smallest size SDS drill bit I've got, that's still sliding. So what I'm doing is I'm using a rubber mallet, and end of a screwdriver, and then what I'm doing is I'm hammering, using it like a chisel in the middle to just start to indent the concrete where I want it, and then I'm going in with this drill bit. But even I've been careful doing that, I've been careful doing that, I've got them all pretty central, because you haven't got a lot of tolerance to play with when you put the the big drill bit in. Sorry, I'm coughing because it's all dusty. Right, so I've got all of the bolts in. That is not coming up. This is going to be here and stood as long as this house or garage is. That is not going anywhere. And someone takes a jackhammer to it, which will make a bit of noise. So, bit of guidance I'll give from going through this experience. It's taken me a while to fit it. Don't use a template, okay? Or use a template for 2 opposite holes. And this is the way I ended up doing it. So 2 opposite holes, get them drilled. Again, like I said, it can slip on concrete, so it's difficult. So use some kind of hammer and chisel point just to kind of indent where you want that drill bit to go and not to slide off. What I ended up doing, excuse me, was using multiple different size drill bits. So I ended up using the smallest I've got here, which is a 6. I don't know. So anyway, smallest STS drill bit I had. Then I got it actually bolted in place with those 2. And then I used a hammer and chisel technique, or hammer and screwdriver technique, on the other holes. Then what I did was, while it was bolted down in place solid, so as tight as it would go so it couldn't move, I then moved up a drill bit size. So with it in there, obviously big enough to go into the hole, drill bit, drill down, went up another size, before actually going with the final size drill bit in the end. So if you want to fit it properly, you can't just use the I think the 9mm drill bit that comes with it. You need to mark it out, use a template for 2 holes, or do it by eye from above. So I marked it with a pen, hammer in like a chisel screwdriver approach to make sure you can dent exactly where that dot is, and then drill it up in different sizes. And once you've got those 2 done and bolted in place and they're all drilled up to the, what did I go up to? I went up to a 10 because that fit in the hole. I took it all the way up to a 10 from those 3. So there's 3 sizes. Then I took it off and then I went with the drill bit. I didn't actually end up using the one that they gave, the 16mm, because I've got a it's a bit of a rubbish drill bit. I actually ended up using one I already bought, which was a bit better quality. They don't supply an Allen key, so there's a 6mm Allen key bolts. Excuse me, it's so dusty in here. But that is not going in. I'm just going to tighten them up, and then I'm going to hammer in the little ball bearings. Now, a good tip with when hammering in the little ball bearings, because they bounce around, put it over there, put it in the hole, and then tape over it with some like electrical tape, and then hit it through, and then it doesn't jump around and bounce out. But that's it, there we go. I'm gonna, before I hammer them in, I'm just gonna put the bike in place just for a triple check to make sure it sits right, and then get it done, get the cover on, and get the bike locked up. So I hope this was of use. If you're thinking getting one, it can be quite a daunting thought. You're drilling deep holes into concrete that you can't just filler or undo. But yeah, pretty good.